Welcome, everyone,
Damn.
to the Everything Show. Or should it be the Mike D cast? I don't know. I am your host, Matrix1212. And I'm with Mike D. Happy birthday, Mike D. Or belated now.
Where's Delusional D at?
What's up, Ben?
Hello.
What's up, Scott? All right. So what's going on, bro? How was your birthday yesterday?
Been celebrating many years as a hater now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Born a hater for life. Yeah, I had a good day swimming in my non-existent pool, according to some people.
With your freaking frogs.
Yeah, and had a nice dinner with my lady friend. You know who the one whose house I live in with her parents, allegedly, according to some idiot.
Oh boy.
Yeah, getting hate. Yeah, I had a good birthday.
Good, man.
Yeah, as you all know, I'm one of the younger members of the cast. I had a 17th birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make lasagna yesterday, that's for sure. I made pizza, but not lasagna. But
I thought I'd get like a present from you, like.
I don't think you want my lasagna though. So
lasagna.
That would mean I hate you if you had lasagna. No.
God. Well, I thought I was going to get like an autographed copy of like Perfect Wish or something.
If you want it, sure, but I don't think you want that. But yeah, all right.
I'll trade you a Funko Pop.
So, who watched the Emmys tonight?
Not me. I wanted to spare my brain from the stupidity.
I watched a little bit of it, enough to goop on it.
Right. So what? Because I was waiting for this stupid football game to end to watch the Orville, which started like 45 minutes late. Was ridiculous. And then I had to watch Fear the Walking Dead late also. So I didn't even watch Talking Dead. But
it's your typical like SJW entertainment bullshit that they had like everyone. What's funny is like the people that were winning for like writing in a comedy series and writing for like late night shows and stuff, their bread and butter is like goofing on Trump this year.
Right.
Yeah, which is fine. It's jokes, whatever. But what's great is they get up there and they act like, oh my God, like Trump is so horrible. But I want to thank him for my Emmy that he got me, because like SNL, their ratings were down. No one gave a shit about them until they started goofing on Trump and Sean Spicer and Stephen Colbert, especially. And I watch Colbert's show. He's a funny guy. I'm non-political on either side, of the two major parties, so I can appreciate humor and a joke. But I've actually found myself kind of defending Trump sometimes because people are so irrational about some of the shit they have to say about assertions about him.
Right.
That it's just silly. I mean, I don't particularly like him, but I mean, I didn't particularly like some of our other previous presidents. I'd say pretty much all of them since I've been alive. They're human beings. They have faults. Some of them have tremendous faults. But I mean, it's like, they pick and choose. They cherry pick a lot. But
right.
Like why you
Bill Clinton cherry picked a lot.
I don't know how many cherries he picked, but I heard he raped a few.
And all those times you forgot his cigar cutter and he had to go to Monica Lewinsky.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, what's funny that Scott brings up a good point about the I was making a joke about the Clinton rape stuff, but I mean, they mentioned something about Trump having a lawsuit that he settled out of court about an alleged rape, and they're like purporting that out there like it's a fact. And you ask them, well, why are you acting like that's a fact? That wasn't proven. And they're like, well, he settled out of court. He must be guilty. And it's like, well, what about the dozens of women that had like sexual harassment lawsuits and rape allegations with Bill Clinton? They never talk about that. You never hear that.
No.
Funny how that gets washed under the carpet.
I doubt that he paid out at hardly like anybody, because all the allegations, they probably were like going to go to jail for like lying and perjury and stuff. So,
well, the other thing was he wasn't even president when that alleged event occurred. When our former president was in office, or when he was governor specifically. He held a place in government, and that's when those alleged events occurred with him. So he actually was representing our country in that capacity, as opposed to Trump, who wasn't a politician.
Right. And he also likes American people as president of the United States. But
you don't believe he didn't have sexual relations
right.
with that woman?
Amazing.
I don't know about him, but his dick sure did.
I don't get it. And here's the thing. I know we don't talk about politics a lot, but I don't get it how politics has become so ridiculously huge that it's seeping now into TV shows, into all the talk shows, into just about every corner of the entertainment industry.
Because you've got people from whatever side wanting to push their agenda down everybody's throats to brainwash them. That's pretty much what it is. They feel that if we push these people to this side, they'll agree with me more. Problem is, because they also know people are not going to look this shit up.
Listen,
they believe.
I think that a lot of people are putting their egos.
The whatever little side they believe in. The problem is what they're doing to Trump is they're going to do what they did with the last Bush, is that they're going to constantly pick at him, constantly push at him, and all these demonizing cause him to get reelected.
He's going to definitely get reelected.
Yeah,
there's nobody for the Democratic. Let's face facts. Even if you're not a Trump supporter, there's nobody in the Democratic Party that can defeat him right now. Let's just face that reality.
They're going to have to get another businessman similar to Trump to run. Which
even if you get a celebrity, they ain't gonna work.
Still alive, or RuPaul, not RuPaul, but whatever.
Well, Hollywood is fake, and to be in like that Hollywood system of things is largely like radical leftist, and they are just as bad as what they're asserting Trump is doing with his fan base and supporters, is saying that he's taking advantage of them and exploiting them. But they're doing that with him because on one hand they're talking about what a piece of shit he is, but then they're making money, and winning these awards is going to increase their value and what they can charge to be in future film roles and TV roles and whatnot. And it just further gets their name more out there. So they're riding that bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just as fake.
And the funny thing is that they were never called out before, even though he was calling them fake news, fake news, fake news. CNN was actually caught. They were caught directing people, be sad, be this. The guy had a camera behind, filming them on his iPhone. And they're like, oh, cry, oh, this. Like, what the frig? So they became fake news like he insinuated.
Yeah.
And even the producer admitted it. He didn't even know he was being recorded. He's like, they made so much money off Trump. Why not keep talking about it? Why not keep making up shit? Why not keep talking about Russian connection or some crap? I'm sure if you really looked, you look at like pictures with Nancy Pelosi, with like Russians and everybody. I mean, there was a picture with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton like hugging Trump before he even became president. Yeah. Like everybody loved him and shit. Even Hillary used to party with him. With Bill Clinton, they used to chill. It's like, and now they don't want nobody to see those pictures. They don't want nobody to know that.
It's called redacted material. That's what they want to do.
CBS comes out. CBS comes out and they say,
was supposed to be redacted material.
Right. CBS comes out and they say, we want you to watch our Star Trek Discovery. And just to let you know, the Klingons are Trump supporters. They're evil Republicans. And the Federation's Democrats. And that's the way that show is.
So the Klingons are going to have like those red ball caps now?
I mean, that's what they're trying to say, that Klingons are Republicans and Trump supporters. Like, why would you are doing your first time ever, like in a long time, Star Trek's going on the air again on TV. It's been a while, right? So you're putting your shit, why would you do that? You think that if you link it towards like Trump by name or whatever, that ratings are going to be through the roof? By doing that? Look at American Horror Story. They did the same thing. I can't even believe they did that.
Well, see, Star Trek specifically, before we move on with other examples, Trek's always been liberal progressive ever since Roddenberry started the show back in the 60s. Liberal, progressive ideas, and that sort of leftist mentality with things. And he had like a socialist sort of agenda with things, Roddenberry personally with stuff. But Roddenberry was a hypocrite because he was supposedly all for like equality of the sexes, but all of the female characters on the show were all like sexualized in his own life, Roddenberry cheated on his wife multiple times.
Oh, good Lord. I lost count of how many times.
So, yet another example of Hollywood hypocrisy.
Right.
And I think what Trek, you asked a question a couple of minutes ago, I think Trek is counting on that, exactly what you said, because they're wanting to kind of like rejuvenate the Star Trek franchise. And they know that with it being like a progressive leftist sort of ideology that permeates the series, all of the series, that they're trying to get like the younger viewers in. So what they're doing is they're going for like a really hard-leaning agenda to bring those newer, younger viewers in that find it hip to hate on like a conservative sort of platform. Because they're just not progressive,
But they're not spending money on it. I mean, look at the uniforms. It's like something out of Enterprise. They're not showing us
probably
anything
leftover
new.
Enterprise outfits anyway. If you look
They're
at
going backwards to a prequel to Star Trek, which means the technology's inferior. Which means like why go backwards? Why not go forwards?
Because look, they're thinking ass backwards with what they're trying to put out. So why not put out a show that goes backwards as well?
Well, isn't Star Trek supposed to be progressive, but yet they're looking backwards?
Yes. Now that's why Enterprise got canceled. They went backwards. I mean, people, now we're watching Orville. Now, Orville is unbelievable. I know it's taking stuff from different things, but it's a parody. It's meant to do that, but the show is really good. I mean, that's what Star Trek should be. And Star Trek isn't. Star Trek, I don't even know what Star Trek is anymore, because even the actor that plays the captain in Star Trek Discovery, he went to say, like they went to add stuff to it, on the cup. And he said something about God, and guys like, oh, no, you can't mention God ever. What do you mean? Oh, no, God doesn't exist, and, you can never mention it ever, ever. Like, not once, not nothing. And the guy was laughing. Like, are you serious, dude? Yeah. You can't, God doesn't exist. So, like, he's like, oh, that's Gene Roddenberry's vision. God doesn't exist.
Well, that's more hypocrisy.
Look at what got the thing about Achilles, but
I didn't even hear what you said, Scott. You were muffled.
You kind of froze up.
Oh, okay. Look at the episode where he had one of the Greek gods. Does that?
But they mentioned the name God.
Yeah, Apollo. Thank you, Schmoogle, for blocking me out. But Apollo. Look at the Apollo episode. Is that? I realize it's a Greek god either way.
But they can't even mention it all in any sentence. God, nothing. And it's like, what are you talking about? How could that be? Well, this guy's got a twisted version of what he thinks Star Trek's supposed to be.
They talk about gods in the term of like races like that they encounter, and they're like, well, this is
not no more.
Yeah,
not no more.
They're not allowed to talk about like the westernized Christian God.
Not any.
But sure as hell they'll be able to say, oh, Muslims this, Muslims that.
They can't mention it in any context, supposedly, which is going to be weird. But the guy that played one of the actors, he says, I don't want you to watch Star Trek. I dare you not to watch Star Trek. Like, he thinks he's edging the fans on to get them to watch it, like reverse psychology.
We'll watch it. We'll find it sucks, and then we'll go watch it.
I'm not watching it. I'm not even watching it, though. Listen, I want to just watch Star Trek. I don't know what this is. I don't know why you got to have it that Sarek is Sarek's the father of this girl, or the mentor, or what? Like, what is she? She's Spock. How could Spock all of a sudden have sisters out of nowhere or something? Like, what's happening here?
Because Sarek's a player. Sarek is a player.
It's logical to cheat, right? I mean, I don't understand what's happening.
Hey, we've heard about the Shocker. He was given the Spocker here, folks.
Yeah.
that's the line of the night.
It's 2 in the pink and 2 in the stink.
Oh my God! What the hell is happening?
Thank you for just. You're welcome for destroying Star Trek.
You got the line of the night. That's just the Spocker. Oh my God! Pun far, baby. Pun far. No. A little too much pun far. When it wasn't even necessary.
Maybe that is a pun far move and nobody knew.
Right.
Sarah gives him the Spocker and tells him to squirt long and prosper.
Oh my God! Well,
good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
The show is getting up. Can't even say anything. Well, it's not just Star Trek though.
So,
American Horror Story. I can't, did you watch that, dude, or no?
Oh yeah.
You have the cult? No.
I want to, but
Oh my god. I have to spoil it, and I do apologize. The whole thing is about the election. They start up with Trump talking and Hillary talking, and then they go election night, like it's its own American Horror Story, right?
it wasn't a horror.
And you see, like, what's the name? Paul Stone, right? She's crying her eyes out. Oh my God, that like Hillary lost. Then her illegal nanny leaves the kid, takes off because she thinks she's going to be deported by Trump. It's so ridiculous. Then they're like, oh my God, are you not going to be married anymore? You're lesbians. And people start getting paranoid. And it's ridiculous. They made like the Democrats like friggin' ridiculous. And then like the guy is screaming at his wife, if you would have voted, this wouldn't have happened. Like, you know, and then the other guy who is Evan Peters, I guess, is a Trump supporter. But he's a nut. So he's like, the revolution has begun. And it's like, holy shit. Like, both sides are crazy.
That's how
like,
the purge begins.
I mean, no, he starts putting on, he takes cheese doodles and he mixes it in a blender and he puts it on his face. And then like Billy Lord's his girlfriend, and she's like nuts too. And it's like, let's just kill everybody's clowns. And they got Twisty the Clown in there now. It's like, but it's just like, how could you go 10, 12, 15 episodes about the election? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like that people like are actually like this, really. That they freak out.
If you want a real American Horror Story, go on YouTube and pull up videos of like the SJWs just completely freaking the fuck out and like getting violently aggressive with people that are out there wearing a Trump shirt and stuff, and they're holding a sign that says Trump or that love Trump's hate. All the while they're spitting on people wearing a Trump shirt or a Trump hat, calling them Nazis, and like burning flags and acting like complete children. It's ridiculous.
They're burning flags and taking statues down.
Yeah, that teacher who called that compared that Trump shirt as a Nazi swastika. That dumb broad who basically left her brain in her purse.
Why are these statues bothering people so much?
Yeah, for
why
4 years. Funny how for 4 to 8 years those statues had no connotation, but right the minute
but like, don't these people
we're gonna bring them down.
But don't these people work that they gather around in groups, or they all unemployed and they just
pays them well?
They're all unemployed, or they're getting paid by the Democratic Party like start violence. Like
Soros is
it's
paying
ridiculous.
There are a lot of students that go to like these colleges that show up there because they want to be hip and they want to be like part of the whole social justice movement. And I mean, and that's okay for people. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, people should have a platform to go out and, you know, protest if they want, whatever. But the thing is, the radicalized contingents on both sides are like a joke. And you can't be out there saying that you're supporting tolerance while you're being intolerant of other people who are just at a protest holding signs and whatever. But you know this goes, it escalates, you know, and both sides become ridiculous, and it becomes
When did students ever have say to control the school? Like they're like, we want all whites banned for this day. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like, how dare evil white people?
Oh, good Lord.
And the school is like, okay. All right. And the senator's like, yeah, okay, let's take down this monument because people are angry. No. Leave it up there. Leave it up there. You don't.
It's about time we tell these people to shut the fuck up.
Listen, yes, it's all about we the people, but
and if they want to bitch, okay, my phone. But nonetheless, shut the fuck up. Grow some
Those statues have been there for decades. People have sat their fucking ass next to the statue, eat a bologna sandwich, whatever. Nobody fucking gave a shit. that statue was up there. Now all of a sudden somebody says something.
Meaning of it either.
They're fucking losing it. People are losing their shit.
Well, this is part of the pussification of America. It's like now everyone's upset. They're outraged. They get this feigned outrage about everything. And I mean, by the way, Hillary just came out with a book the end of this past week called "What Happened." Called "What Happened." You lost, bitch. That's what happened. Go away. You know.
But she's bashing her own party. She's bashing her friends.
And this is how she would be if she was president.
She's bashing every fucking Democrat there is, Bernie Sanders, everybody. She's bashing women in general just to make money. It's like, holy shit.
My pussy hurts. I can't squeeze this diamond.
And they're all like disowning her because they're like, well, fuck her. Like, seriously. But you know what, though? Get somebody that's big enough to be a Democrat to defeat Trump there. But no, there's nobody.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Nobody that can run right now.
Well, the funny thing is the Democratic Party, Sanders was like the front runner to run ahead of Hillary, and they sabotaged their own party, sabotaged the lead nominee because they wanted to push Hillary on everybody.
And they
And then
fucked
she
up.
goes and blames Bernie in her book after screwing him out of the nominee.
So, you know what's going to happen, though, now?
Why can't you?
You know what's going to happen now, though? Now they're all going to turn on her, the Democrats and Republicans, and she's going to be arrested. Watch. Anybody who was protecting her now, nope. No more.
And I said this in posts before, in a post before. A lot of the people who are bitching, moaning, complaining about Trump, they're upset that they weren't allowed because Trump became president. They were upset because they couldn't jump off the Hillary bandwagon to bash her.
But you're going to see a shift.
They wanted to criticize Hillary so damn much, and if he became president, they could start roaching out of the woodwork. But now that Trump became president, that disallowed them from doing it. So their names are now going to be linked forever in trying to get this corrupt person who pretty much backstabbed survivors and wanted to blame it on a YouTube.
You're going to see a shift. You're going to see a shift because she's throwing people under the bus. She's trying to destroy careers in her own party. You're going to see these people, as much as they don't like him, they're going to side with him. Mm-hmm. They're all going to team up, and she's going to be in jail. She's going to be done.
They talk about Trump's corruption. It's like, look into like when Bill was governor of Arkansas and the stuff with the Rose Law Firm and Whitewater. And I mean, you know, forget all the emails that mysteriously disappeared. I mean, look at all the shredded documents they did with all their political and business dealings and stuff. I mean, it was ridiculous, the shit they were involved in, like some of the drug smuggling in Mena, Arkansas and stuff.
So I think everybody needs to chill the fuck out. He's the president now. You know, I understand they don't like his way of doing things or whatever, but they're making money off him. People are writing books about him. People are like, you know, bashing him in comics. They're fucking, and they're making money off him. If he wasn't around, CNN would not have the ratings it has.
And we've got a hot first lady, folks. Come on, how can you hate on a man who's finally returned? Would you really want Hillary as the first lady to look up at that? Come on.
But
I thought you were talking about Manchell.
Listen, it's not that. The thing is that there's fakes and there's fakes. Yeah. Let's be honest. She did everything that was expected her to do as a fake because she was all phony baloney. She was. Look
how the media pretty much softballed her. Anytime somebody wanted to debate her, you got the feeling that, oh, sorry, you can't use that. That's from
CNN refused to call it for a long fucking time. Material. You know that CNN did not call it until she fucking gave up. And they're like, oh, they still didn't want to call it, but they had to.
And I still to this day think she purposely let that drop because that I really do.
She controlled everybody. And they're like, fuck. They were like, they should have fucking called it. But no. She didn't even show up. She was done. She was done. Those people that waited.
Didn't realize he was in the closet somewhere.
Those people were waiting for her to talk. For like 15 hours. They're like, fuck her then afterwards. Come on. It was so horrible. Have respect. She didn't have any respect doing that. I understand she was hurt, but man up. And you know what? And say admit you lost, and that's it. You didn't even fucking do that. So whatever. But anyway, it's not just that. Now we have shows that they're putting politics into all the major shows. It's like enough. Star Trek, American Horror Story, Greatest American Hero. Now you've got the social justice warriors. Well, that Greatest American Hero has to be female again.
They're thinking this is a new idea by putting a woman in it. They tried that years ago with Greatest American Hero.
And she got canceled.
It didn't work out.
Lord of the Flies with females. Really?
And we even have feminists saying, hardcore feminists saying that's not going to work. Because a lot of times the women, they even pointed this out, women would group together in a time of crisis. And
the comic books
when women fight other women, they get downright nasty.
The Marvel Comics agenda failed, and they canceled those books, and they're canceling more, and they're switching it back the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about exposing fakes, I don't know if you guys talked about it on here, but Joss Whedon, writes these strong characters.
I read that.
Yeah, and it come to find out, like, he's been screwing around on his wife and not respecting his own, the most important woman, I would say, in his life, your wife, right? And he's been disrespecting her, but man, he writes those strong female characters, so he must be a real feminist.
And that's why they're thinking why Batgirl was sort of pushed back.
I mean, he took over Justice League. Batgirl is going to be huge. In fact, he's going to be huge in the DCEU. He's going to be taking over everything. So, and again, a guy creating a female character lead. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
been there, done that.
Speaking of the Emmys, my least favorite person on the planet showed up. Fucking Chris Hardwick, that little cunt. He was there to present some award, and I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus is her name. She won something, and he got down on his knee to present her the award and stuff, and he's such an ass licker.
So in other words, he wasn't at Talking Dead, or he was pre-recorded Talking Dead?
I don't know. I don't bother with that anymore. I don't watch.
Well, after he called us assholes, I don't watch this shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this is the guy that shit on the fan base. He's supposed to be a
Doctor Who. Yeah, shit on it.
And apparently the members from 9 to 5 was doing bashes upon Trump. But if you look at a photograph with Dolly Parton in the middle, she had this look like, oh God, what did I get myself?
Well, she actually made a comment to kind of counter what they were saying, but she did it in a masked sort of way, where she said Lily Tomlin. It was Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, and Dolly Parton up there, and Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda kind of went after Trump, and Dolly Parton, after they had their comments, said something about, oh, Lily must be referring to Mr. Hart, who's their boss, played by the late actor Dabney Coleman from 9 to 5. So she was trying to kind of relegate their comments to being about the movie that they were in rather than being about Trump, because they didn't actually say his name. So she was trying to minimize what happened there. And I mean, it was kind of funny to watch. I mean,
because I don't think Dolly Parton would have went after.
No, I don't think so. Not by herself.
And I can't say I've ever heard Dolly Parton get political about anything. She's got seemingly more class.
Yeah,
between the two of those that combined. And of course,
it was a moment for them to be on camera.
Look at Jane Fonda. Look who she backed during the Vietnam War.
Hanoi Jane.
But it was an opportunity they presented to them for them to be on camera on the major award show, to get exposure, thing that will boost their careers. And it didn't work.
And where are they now? I mean, Parton
Jane
does
Fonda had a Netflix. Jane Fonda had a Netflix show. Lily Tomlin has a Netflix show.
Yeah.
And Jane Fonda has a Netflix show. And Dolly Parton has
there's somebody's wanting to try to shut down Dollywood because.
Oh, come on.
Because of the SJW crap.
Oh, please.
I've been to Dollywood.
Yeah, Dolly does give me wood.
Oh, stop it. But so what else? I mean, we have
this Spocker.
Yeah, I'll be hitting that shit from 9 to 5.
Oh my God. We have what else happened with this whole SJW thing too? What are you laughing about now?
Just the way the segue went.
Oh, shit. All right.
We're going to go to Dollywood, Jed. Let's go to Dollywood.
So,
I want to go trigger some.
yeah, Ben. Ben wants to say something. Yeah, Ben.
FYI, Seth MacFarlane just says that the Orville is moving to Thursdays at 9.
Yeah, I saw that tonight, and I'm like, you know what? Thank God, because the football fucked it up, basically.
Yeah, that's probably. I wonder if that was
Fucked it up.
or that was the
Each one
result.
always got injured because of football. I remember.
Fucked up the whole night for me tonight because now everything's fucking later, and I'm angry because you can't. First of all, I was all ready to watch the Orville. I can't put it aside and then watch Fear the Walking Dead. So I waited for. I gotta tell you, it was a great episode. This was a really great. I mean, it
I
is.
laughed a lot more in this episode than I did the first one.
It is what Star Trek should be, and
Yes.
Star Trek should be fucking embarrassed.
I love
That-
Lotus.
They have the fucking nerve. Yes, he's great. That they have the fucking nerve to make people pay for a streaming service for one fucking show that they're gonna put. Oh, nice, yeah. Thank you for putting shit that's on regular TV on a streaming service that we gotta fucking pay for that you can see for fucking free, asshole.
They're going to do this.
You could see it for free if you're not fucking lazy. You DVR it. You don't have to get CBO access.
Jeez.
You can get SEAL Team. You can get all your fucking shit on the regular fucking TV. So why would you pay for a streaming
If you want
service?
to go one way, you can go to Netflix and wait until the season's all the way out.
Why
And
would
pretty
you pay
much,
for a streaming service? It's free.
People aren't going to pay for that. They're going to use other streaming
Stupid.
sites
It's
to
so
find it.
stupid.
they're going to go with
Star Trek is
Amazon
the-
Prime or Netflix.
Star Trek is the
Those two.
only show that's going to be on there. That's original. Meaning that it's the only for that, and nothing else. Everything else is seen or read.
I haven't heard any word of mouth of people looking forward to Star Trek, like out in the real world. It's all just people going, well, this just seems like shit. You know,
Well,
like
you know what they
this-
did? They stopped critics from seeing it. They won't let anybody see it. They embargoed it. They don't want nobody to review it because it sucks. When did that ever happen with that? They
Oh,
blocked
dude.
everybody.
If it fails, they're going to blame it on the anti-leftist sort of thing, and they're going to blame Trump somehow with that. This
Oh,
is
but you know what they did? They renewed it for season 2 to try to make an excuse that it's a success before it even starts. It's been paid for, renewed. They're going to be filming
Because
season
they
2.
don't, they're probably got the new season due to how many people are paying for the service, and people are going to watch the first 2 episodes and go,
Well, they're hooking you. The first episode's going to be on TV.
yeah.
And then they said, you can't see the rest because you got to pay for it every fucking month.
To give you a comparison, Twin Peaks recently, like a week or so back, concluded its 18-episode third series run. Twin Peaks had the biggest word of mouth I've heard in a long time. Fans have been long time, really hardcore, rabid fans, and it failed to sell Showtime memberships to sign up for that, and that had tremendous word of mouth and expectation in a positive way. So I don't know what, whatever. I mean, let Star Trek do its fucking circle jerk and fizzle out, because that's what's going to happen.
Listen, if that's a success, then you have to stop paying for Walking Dead. You have to stop paying for all these different fucking shows to be on the thing. Nobody wants that shit. As it is, they want to do the Disney streaming service, which is fucking ridiculous.
Hey, I could go down to like a Trump protest and see The Walking Dead, with those SJWs. You need to have to watch it on TV.
And you know, it's funny how he makes fun. It's funny how he controls the crowd. He gets people so crazy that he makes them look like idiots. Like, he loves it. He fucking loves it. He's a mastermind. He'll fucking tweet shit. People will lose their fucking shit. Even when he mispronounced a word, capape, whatever, people are fucking losing their shit.
Yeah,
It was a great.
it's funny how you can trigger people just by putting a non-word on a tweet.
People went and, dude, that was like the greatest sales in
Yes.
coffee
Cafe
for like
Fat-
fucking 5 years. Everybody's going to order coffee because they're stupid. It's like putting rats in a maze with cheese. Everybody's fucking ridiculous. God, I don't understand people.
Well, the funny thing
What's
is,
happening?
too, I know someone who's radically anti-Trump, and they are like big time pro Hillary, Obama, all that. They actually ordered I think it was a Trump shirt or something like that for a protest that they were going to go to, and the person that they ordered from ripped them off. So, like, this person who's supposed to be for, you know, the same sort of, you know, do-gooder sort of stuff. You know, we don't like Trump because he's a rip-off guy and he's a businessman that doesn't pay people and stuff. That person's doing the same exact shit to the Trump supporters, ripping them off with what they already paid for. Now, granted, you got to remember, this was an item that was already paid for. What they did was they showed up at the protest, and the merchandise, clothing that they had already sold that they were going to give to the people that showed up there at the protest, what they did was they double dipped. They actually took the merchandise that was already sold to other people and put aside for them and sold it to people that were just walk-ups, and then left the people that already paid for it fucked, you know, with an item that was non-existent. And then they didn't reimburse them. All of a sudden, they're not reachable, and they can't be reimbursed for that and stuff. So that's to give you a little bit of an idea about the hypocrisy behind, you know, these people that are like, oh, you know, Trump, you know, he's such a lying, cheating scumbag and whatever. Meanwhile, they're winning.
Do the same thing that you accuse your accuser of.
Yeah, and that's an old tactic of, like, if you're in a debate or whatever, or going against some ideology or something, you always accuse the other side, that of which you are guilty of. You know, I've seen that with me, with things, with people from time to time, and it's a classic transparent move, and it's so hilarious when people do that, because it really, truly reeks of desperation and shows you that they have no ground to stand on, no foundation whatsoever, except to have to sink to doing that.
Trump used to be on every fucking channel. And NBC used him for his popularity for The Apprentice. Mm-hmm. He was on everything, talking on all the Entertainment Tonight before he was elected. People loved him. It was the greatest ratings for Saturday Night Live when he hosted it, all that shit. And then the moment he's running for president, all the people that were, like, selling his merchandise, all that shit, they turned on him. Because he cannot be controlled. That's what it is.
Yeah, and that's
nobody could control him. So they started rebelling against their own person.
Because everybody before had to dip into somebody else's revenue so they could be put in somebody's pocket. Trump didn't need that money, so it's like, screw you guys.
It's like Coca-Cola. We did videos on this, and we found out that Coca-Cola is responsible for them altering the Grease movie. That they put it on a Mandela effect. That they made the company try to get rid of all the original prints of Grease and change all the lyrics of the song so that way kids could do it in plays like kindergarten and first grade and all kinds of shit. They altering the movie and the verses and everything, and it's sickening. And then you're gonna allow that, but then you're gonna be like mad at Trump for different things. It's so stupid.
Well, they have no problem using Trump for their financial ends, but yet they'll accuse him of when he plays his business games to play the game to shake it up for himself with things. I mean, you know, I'm not saying Trump's perfect by any means, but it's like a lot of these people are hypocrites. It's like, well, what are you complaining about? You did this, which is like equally just as horrid, and then you're complaining when Trump uses that same sort of tactic for playing the game.
I mean, people complaining, but you know what? Stock market's through the roof, doing great. People are getting fucking jobs everywhere. There's jobs available everywhere.
Look at the ratings on the news. You know, people tune in whenever there's like some sort of tragedy that happens, or there's like some sort of hurricane that comes through.
Which Trump's supposed to be reported. They're supposed to be behind.
Yeah, and it's
like they're blaming that on him too. They're like, "Oh, God's rebelling against Trump." And then some people said that.
I think like, Jennifer Lawrence, I think the actress, said something like that.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah, dumb cunt. I mean, you have.
I don't understand people. They want us to be in a recession or depression, so they could do the news on it, and everybody fucking miserable. But then when people have jobs and the economy's fucking great, they're not happy either. I don't understand it.
Well, they love to see the country
showing that Trump is doing his job. They don't want people to see that. That's why they constantly bash on him, but they don't bash the others who actually got them there in the first place.
What they made it him for when this guy's fucking shooting missiles everywhere, Kim Jong-un, and fucking he's threatening, and he's like, oh, you better shut the fuck up, I'm going to blow his ass up. And people are like, oh my God, they're all mad at Trump. Well, no, he ain't going to take his shit. He will fucking go after him. Because you can't, I mean, I don't understand why as a country we're supposed to be all like
But you know what's sick too is
Ridiculous.
that if you listen to like I'm sure I've seen on the news, you know, you see these clips of like these protesters, and some of these people are like so radical that they're wishing that something bad would happen to Trump, like assassination or something.
Horrible.
They say things like that, but then you ask them why they don't like Trump, and they're like, oh, well, he's a misogynist, racist, all this stuff, and it's like, well, wait a minute, you know, this person on a YouTube video, or is calling for like Trump being killed, or God, I hope he has a stroke or a heart attack. You know, they're saying that stuff, and it's like, well, wait a minute, you're calling for that, but yet you don't like this guy because of his own personal ideologies, allegedly. I mean, that's
Kathy Griffin. She
Oh
fucking,
God!
she did the fucking.
She's a stupid cunt.
Look what she did. She did the fucking thing with the head, which how fucking stupid are you for doing that, right? Then people rebelled against her because I think she got an investigation for the Secret Service. Of course, you're holding his dead head in your hand, and a model of it. And then she goes and she has a lawyer to apologize. She doesn't wear makeup. She's trying to be like, oh, fucking whatever. So then after that, they cancel all her fucking shows, everything, right? Everything. Friendships broke with CNN, with Anderson, everybody, right? All of a sudden, then she tries to do this shit. Oh, I'm going to shave my head for cancer. Thinking that,
Bullshit.
I don't know, maybe she did it genuine, maybe not. Maybe she did it for her press, maybe not.
Did for press.
But what does she do now? She takes back the apology, and she's like, fuck this one, fuck that one. Yeah, it was never genuine. Never. And she don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. She's just trying to be in the news, controversial. So it's like, whatever. I mean, your own people are bashing you.
She's one of those like D-list celebs.
Hey Barry, go have your fun with the drunk in the jail, Kathy.
Of course your friends are not going to fucking side with you. You did a fucked up thing. I mean, of course not. Why would Anderson Cooper fucking stick his neck out for her and then get fucking off CNN and his whole career down the fucking tubes? Of course not. No, I'm not with this one. Of course not he is. And nobody is. So why would you be mad that he's not? It's ridiculous. All these shows getting Emmys, bashing Trump. It's because of him they got the enemies, like you said, Mike D. That's what you would say.
Yep.
You're exactly right. You are 100% right. And then you know what? Then when he's gone, they're not popular anymore. There's nobody to make fun of. Whatever. Fucking whatever. I don't fucking care. Let them fucking bash him. You know what? Watch it be the worst fucking ratings in history. Wasn't the other show?
Problem I have.
Wasn't the other show the worst ratings in history? They tried to do that with Trump. Was it the MTV thing? Failed miserably. Failed.
Yeah. They said you had all these celebrities says, well, if Trump becomes president, I'm going to leave the country.
Oh,
okay, great.
I think Madonna's the only one that did, actually.
We're going to go on strike, or we're going to leave the country. Fine. Go ahead. Please leave the country. I got lesser things to worry about than your pussies can't pass out a damn diamond.
I think Madonna's the only one that actually left the country.
Yeah.
I think Madonna actually left.
Oh.
Thank you, Jesus.
One last
too many manly hands.
One less trashy hoe in the U.S., I guess.
Might as well stay out there for another 8 years or whatever.
When I got a question. When was the last time Madonna was even relevant?
I don't know. I remember she was broken neck at this. What is this?
When she was trying to keep her baby. That or doing the sex book.
I don't know.
She's starting to look like one of those walkers on Walking Dead now.
Jesus. Are they so? Wait. Can I ask you a question? Are they fucking reusing walkers now from like previous fucking seasons? Because they got a guy that's a walker that's fighting fucking Carl. That I'm like, I could have sworn that fucking walker in particular was in another episode. Same fucking guy.
Did they kill him? Did they kill that walker?
I think that walker was like miles and miles and miles away. Yeah. Yes. I'm pretty sure. I got to research it. Or maybe that walker was in that zombie movie. That just came out in the desert or whatever.
I decided I checked out of The Walking Dead after the end of like this past season. It's just become like a zombie soap opera, and it's the same bullshit over and over and over again, and it's plotted out episodes, and it's just like it's become monotonous now.
I never thought I would like Fear the Walking Dead like I do now. I can't fucking believe how good it got. I'm in shock. I'm dumbfounded, actually.
Well, aren't they trying to change it up now by having a jump ahead, like with Old Man Rick or something? I read.
Well, here's the thing. Kirkman said flat out that Rick is definitely going to die way before the show's over. So I'm telling you right now, he dies, the show's over. I don't care what anybody says. And then they're going to have to do a Dallas situation where the whole season.
Oh, God, please.
Listen, would you rather do that or would you rather get canceled? Of course they would do that. Of course they would.
I'd rather have it get canceled than doing another damn.
Of course they would.
It was all.
So. The moment he dies, the fucking ratings are going to go in the toilet, and then they're going to either say, do we cancel it or do we fucking erase the season? Let's erase the season. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you right now. They think because they don't want to. Why? You don't want to pay him or what? Like, I don't understand why. If he started with, they did every time you start a show with the main character, that character should be towards the end. That character should not die. It should be part of the that's it. When
now, I can understand it being maybe rumored that he had died. Fine. I mean, there's a rumor because you don't see him in a few episodes. Oh, we thought you died. And then he comes back.
Like Glenn.
But yeah, just to all out and kill him? No.
I don't want to see that it's a time jump and he has, like in the comics, he's so fucked up that he can't fight and he's all this and, oh, fuck, come on. Nobody wants to do
What they need to do, if they're going to go that route, they need to fake, I don't want to say fake his death, but just have it set up to where you assume that he had died. And then that way he can take a break for a while, let all the this is fucking stupid, this is asinine, and then later on down the line go, boom, here I am.
So what are you going to kick him? You're going to kill him at the end of season 8 in 2018. That's when you're going to kill Rick, probably?
Second to the last episode.
Maybe.
Second to the last episode, next to the last episode. And then that way, and then don't reveal it as a big shocker, but maybe mid-season, then mid-season have him come back.
I already know what they're doing already because I'm starting to see it in Fear the Walking Dead. They're trying to make it that Madison her brother is Daryl and Merle. That's what they're trying to do. And that she was the sister that stepped up and killed their abusive father. And that she had the fucking balls to do it. So what they're going to do is the next thing they're going to do is they're going to have Madison search for her brother. And that's what they're going to fucking do when Rick is dead.
Well, that's
going to be the main thing.
I haven't seen the last two Fear the Walking Dead, but I was going to say that if they're going to do a time jump, because I know Fear the Walking Dead takes place before Walking Dead, pretty much, that they could have, like Rick, like Scott said, disappear under some circumstances where you think he's dead, but he actually is the conduit that locates the Fear of the Walking Dead that connects the two shows, and they could have that as like a season finale where Rick shows up with Madison
Strand,
yeah, somebody or Daniel or somebody like that.
Yep, Daniel's back. Yep.
And those are the only two reasons. And actually, Madison's character has gotten better, but Daniel and Strand are like really the backbone of that show.
They're fucking fantastic. But even, I mean, I still don't like Nick. He's fucking annoying.
Yeah, and I mean Johnny Depp kid. Like every time I see him, you just want to like punch him.
And then Ophelia, she wasn't doing shit for a while, and then Alicia, she got to be like a fucking perfect in everything. Blades, weapons. I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened with that, but it's a good show though. I mean, they had mutated walkers that had super strength. Strand talked to the astronaut in space, that he said the whole world is fucked, that there's no good anywhere. So they just did that reveal that everybody's affected, the whole entire planet, from an astronaut in space, in a space station that's stuck up there.
Well, I read that they supposedly are going to be thinning the herd on Walking Dead with characters, according to something I read like a week or so ago that popped up in my news feed. Which is what they need to do. They're too top heavy with characters, where now they're having to write things just to justify having those actors stay on the show.
Nobody wants filler episodes like that. Nobody wants a whole episode about Tara a whole episode of Paulie Gabriel, or the whole episode. They want to see Rick. Because when they don't have that, when they don't have Rick in the main episode with everybody else, the ratings go in the fucking toilet. It drops. And then Rick's back, and then the ratings go up again. So what does that tell you? Why do you have to kill Rick? I don't get it. I mean, I think it's the ego. I think they're like, no, my show is...
Oh, you know what they're going to do? They're going to kill Rick so they can make Maggie the head of the show and another, female-led TV show for the SJW.
She's been pregnant for 3 years. Okay? Okay? She's not even... listen to me. She's not even fucking showing. How many fucking years has she been pregnant? Mike D.
Is she having triplets or quads?
She's been pregnant for 3 fucking years.
Glenn gave her some bad sperm, apparently.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
That would be great if she had like a miscarriage and the kid came out like a walker and tried to eat her or something, or like they had Carol, like they had Carol down there as like a wet nurse for the birth, and the zombie pops out and chews her face off or something. That'd be awesome.
Season 6, she's pregnant. Season 7, she's pregnant. Season 8, she's pregnant.
God.
And they're like, is she going to give birth or what? And then the guys...
being pregnant that much, I think she qualifies for welfare somehow, right?
Yeah.
But if you see the trailer, like she's running, jumping, like aren't you more farther along pregnant? Like how could you do those things? And they go into the guy's like, oh, it's only a couple of days, like the season. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Oh, season 6, 7, and 8, it's only like a couple of weeks.
They need to have Maggie. Really? They need to have Maggie hook up with Negan, the guy that like bashed in Glenn's head. That'd be awesome. Like she falls in love with Negan, and everything just gets fucked up.
Listen. As much as it's hard to do, she's got to give birth already. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's how they're going to do the time jump, I guess, because it's ridiculous. It really is. And
they would just have Maggie around being pregnant and. They want to write her role well to where she can be the leader of the group. So, yeah, that's probably why they're doing the time jump for a big reason.
Yeah, but Rick can't look like... Why does Rick look like he aged 25 years if it's a time jump of a couple of months? I mean, supposedly it's going to be like the most it's going to be is 3-year time jump, I think, right? So why does Rick look like fucking, ridiculous like that?
I want to see some anti-Trump SJW with a pussy hat zombies. That would be great, all kind of lumbering ahead. Like they still got the signs tied to them and stuff, and they're all like drooling, and that'd be awesome.
I'm pissing myself when I was watching American Horror Story, and Billy Lord's trying out for the babysitter thing, and she's like, yeah, I was part of Hillary's campaign and everything. And I'm like, why is this a whole season? Why? Why are you doing this? And I know it wasn't the full team that did it. The guy just had it in his head. That's what it is. And they got the guy with the Trump mask on in the fucking credits of the show.
So they can have like a new group that they come across, Rick's group, that are all like, we can't build a wall to keep the walkers out because that would be racist. And they're over there supporting the walkers and,
It's ridiculous. I don't get it. They're
Walker's
all going to fall on their face.
Walker lives matter.
You know what kills me? American Horror Story got 2 years, right? Renewal. So they know that if they fuck up this year, all they have to do is next year do that crossover and they're golden. So they wasted a fucking season on shit to do that. I don't think this should have been a season. I don't see how this can last. I mean, I'm getting tired of seeing that shit every day. So we'll see. We'll see. And of course, it's clowns too because it just fucking came out.
Oh,
so they got to like fucking.
It was good.
You want to talk about that, Mike D, or you want to do it on the horror case?
Either's fine. I mean, yeah, I saw it too.
Yeah, we can talk about it here.
I was just thinking, like, talking about the clown thing. It reminded me. I read an article where there's some like contingent of like people that are professional clowns.
Oh, fuck off.
That were like hating on Stephen King for like creating this clown phobia, like contributing to it and stuff.
Oh God. It's not like fucking sales of clowns have been up fucking 1,000,000% lately. They've been fucking going downhill like with the 80s. They're closing circuses. They're closing all that shit.
Yeah.
So please, no.
Because it's not politically correct. They're abusing the animals.
You're gonna be lucky. You're gonna be lucky that it's gonna be zoos at all.
Yeah, Ringling Brothers closed down. I think this year they had like their last.
Yep, they did. Ringling did.
Yeah, but that's all organizations forcing them. They're like, oh, what are you doing to animals and all that shit.
PETA.
And then that's it. They end it. So things are changing, man.
Ooh, that's new.
Things are fucking changing.
Taking over the world.
No, there's a backlash. And Marlboro got a backlash. Stuff's getting canceled. It's not. All these movies are gonna bomb. It's gonna be over, and then that's gonna be over. What's next? You see.
Maybe they can bring Antifa in on Walking Dead. You know, with their military armor they wear and everything.
Jesus.
Antifa. And meanwhile, they're busting out windows at banks and stuff. I mean, you can watch videos of them acting.
It's amazing. It's amazing how people that are destroying cop cars and burning down banks that were actually supporters that donated to Hillary's campaign, Black Lives Matter, that something. They destroyed the fucking bank. And it's like, and they're not getting arrested? Then why is that?
They're just touched. They don't know what to do.
I don't fucking understand what's happening. I don't understand
They're just acting out because they were suppressed for so long.
Well, and people are afraid to call out Antifa and people like that are radicalized, because when you do, the zombified masses that are the SJWs jump on board, and automatically you're a racist if you're against like anybody committing an act of violence.
Yeah.
You know, and you got these people, and I love the fact that they're all for tolerance. And whenever you see these people at these protests, they're against the wall, they're against intolerance, yet they don't want, they're stifling people talking to reporters that are like reporting from like, you know, other sources, or like Fox or like InfoWars or some group like that. Not that I'm a fan of either of those, I'm just saying, but they still, you know, if you're going to be tolerant and you respect free speech, as long as people aren't causing a problem by, like, you know, destroying property or assaulting people, let people have their interviews. If you don't want to be a part of it, just fucking walk off. Don't create they create a human wall and interchange.
They want to silence these people.
Yeah, they're all about
that. They think that they've won.
Yeah,
they think if you silence this issue, then it'll just simply fade away and solve itself.
Yeah, we're for tolerance and not for any walls, but yet they create a human wall between somebody wearing like a Trump shirt walking down the street that oh my God, might actually, you know, get involved with a conversation with somebody, not like a physical assault or yelling at them, but having just a dialogue, just going, hey, you know, I mean, we should have
we don't have that anymore, because if we have a dialogue, we might actually prove that our side might have some flaws.
Yeah, and if you perpetuate divisiveness by just shutting down communication, then neither side learns anything about anything.
And that's the whole point of having a conversation, is you learn, okay, this person has this much of the story, this person has this much of the story, and we no longer learn anything because you want people's mouths to stay like this, and you want to keep blasting us with falsehoods.
Yeah, and Antifa are talking about like they're anti-fascist, and it's like they're dressed up like these like government fascist like goon soldiers with billy clubs and all this like militant sort of stuff in their actions. They're yelling down people that have an opposing view at these protests and stuff. I mean, what's more fascist than that? I mean, they have no clue. They're not self-aware.
It's funny they just like
I know it's like,
yeah, you're right, Ben.
Martin Luther King would not be supportive of Black Lives Matter.
No, he wouldn't.
So it just undid everything he's done. Like, totally. 1 year. Destroyed like a legacy almost. Put shit backwards.
And look at his wife. She's pretty much destroying his legacy as well.
Coretta Scott, cha-ching.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much what it is cha-ching. Because anybody who tries to use the footage of him saying, I've got a dream, has got to pay her.
Yeah, they need to take some of these people to like a Martin Luther King statue and see if they can distinguish between that and like General Lee or something. And they'll be, do you think we should take the statue down? Like, don't tell them who it is or anything. They're like, oh, yeah, take it down. It's a hater. And it's MLK.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's. It just seems to me that the world is changing for the worst.
It is.
People, like, whatever they're doing in school, they're not educating kids. They're not teaching them common sense. And they just.
They're not teaching history also. And, you know, when
parents are not being parents, basically.
Oh, hell no.
They're dropping the kids off at the mall.
Uh-oh.
we talked about this.
Yeah.
This is what happens. You drop them off at the mall. They start wrecking the mall because they're 15 or 14. They're like, what are you going to do, put your hands on me? They pushing people, you know, the limits. And then their parents are either have money and they're like, oh, not my kid. And then they find out, they're like, you know.
They act like an asshole if you actually are not being an asshole, but just going, hey, you know, your kid's like destroying the store. And they're like, you know, mind your own business, you know, to these employees.
Right.
And they're berating the employees in the store that have to come pick up after their little shit kid.
Yeah, like, what do you make? Like, you know, $10 an hour? And then they start bashing the staff and everything, please. I don't know what's going to look like in 20 years, but.
Well, talk about these stupid parents. It wasn't that long ago. I remember I was backing out of a parking spot in Best Buy, and I'm in like an SUV that sits up off the ground a pretty good bit. And I look around 3 times, and I back out very slowly. And if there's any head, I mean, not only do I look in the side mirror and the rear view mirror, but I actually physically turn around and look.
Right.
Before I back out. I mean, I'm like one of those people that double checks, triple checks. And I started backing out, and I hear this, ho, 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 ho. And so I stop, and, you know, I'm like, what the fuck? Where's this coming from? And all of a sudden, like, this person, after a couple of seconds, you see their head come by, and it's this guy, and his kid that's like an infant is walking on its own about like 40 or 50 feet in front of the parents, just walking through the parking lot.
That's wrong.
Yeah, and I looked at the guy, and I'm like, you know, like, dude, you know, my apologies, but I was looking, and I'm like, you know, your kid's like kind of small, so it's close to the ground. I'm not going to see that. You know, you need to like keep an eye on your kid and not have him walk through the parking lot unattended to like that. Because I mean, not only, you know, for me or whatever, but for his benefit, you know, like that way, because your kid doesn't know any better. But I'm sure you don't want your kid run over by somebody, and it's not their fault.
Yeah, but he's going to blame the driver run him over because they're lackluster parenting.
Yeah. What do you say?
It just gave a scowl kind of look, and it was like, whatever, just kind of blew it off. And I was like, you know, okay, well, hopefully, you know, it's really sad that these kids.
Sometime next week, sir.
You know, these kids have to suffer with like these parents that are just retarded. You know,
parents don't want to be parents. They want to be. They still want to be in their 20s. They still want to do whatever. They don't want to like take the time to spend time with the family, and that's what happens. They push the kids off to other people.
Well, the guy had his cell phone out, like he was texting or something.
Of course.
Oh, God.
Disgusting, man. Disgusting. All right, let's go do our kiss. I want to talk about it. So, thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now.